Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for December. I'm going to give you some key pointers of what to expect this month, but please stay with me because after that I will dive deep to give you the forensic detail of what December holds. Your traditional ruler is Mars, and Mars is in your sign for the first half of this month, but for the first 10 days it's linking to your modern ruler of Pluto. But not just Pluto. Venus, the planet of relating, but also of money, is conjoining with Pluto within 3 degrees for the whole of December. But for that first 10 days, a really powerful conversation is possible. And if you're single, it could undoubtedly bring someone into your world of real importance. But also, as this month begins, Saturn and Uranus are really beginning to lock horns again. They started to move back into within 3 degrees a square the last week of November, but it's been the most dominant influence of the whole of 2021. And for you, I think the area that has caused some tensions has been a family relationship or a close personal relationship. So that grating restriction that Saturn does bring, in your case around your emotional feelings, is agitating against the free-spirited Uranus, which wants you to speak your truth and be more direct. Now, of course, you can be quite outspoken in your observations of others, but quite reticent in saying how you really feel about deeply personal matters. But it may all come up to the boil on Christmas Eve, something that's been rumbling along, perhaps just beneath the surface, for much of 21. It can reach a crescendo. But this link between Mars, Venus and Pluto in the first 10 days is very exciting. Because Mars in your own sign gives you a push to be very decisive and to get some schemes off the ground, to explain to others with excitement and enthusiasm how amazing some of your ideas are. And Mars and Pluto, when they collaborate in a 60-degree sextile like this, is very enabling. And you know, the willpower that you can show, which is very much an innate part of your being, it's really going to be turned up to max. So if you have an idea that's important to you, get it out into the open those first 10 days. But also, Saturn, mischief maker though it can be in its angle with Uranus, is actually going to be very supportive on the new moon, which occurs on the 4th, and that can be very good for your finances. So please stay with me. I'm going to tell you much more, but if you are new to my channel, I would be grateful if you would subscribe. You can click or tap on the bell notification symbol, and every time I drop a video you'll get an alert. Also, if you'd like to get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, you can click on the link beneath this video. I've been writing these for a long time, over 25 years. My work's used on some major platforms around the world, including British Press Association and Britain's most read daily newspaper, The Metro. And finally, year 2022 is just around the proverbial corner. If you'd like to order your personal forecast based on your personal astrology of time, date and place of birth, ascend above this Zodiac forecast, you can get the rest of 21 free, a character analysis, the whole of 22, plus 30% off. Please see the link beneath this video. Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for December. On the very first day of this month, the Sun and Mercury are in your sector of everyday resources. But Neptune, the planet of dreams, has been in your sector of romance since 2012, but since the 25th of June has been in a retrograde. Well, as we begin this month, it goes forwards. Stations direct. That's great news. Also, it forges a very helpful angle to Jupiter for the first 2 weeks of this month. So that's very positive if you're wanting to link to people in a joyful but emotional way. This could be friends, could be family members that you find easy to relate to. But a greater lightness can permeate around the potential for you to have joy and fun. So that's really, really wonderful. Now, as this month begins, also the Sun is in a sextile with Saturn. Now, Saturn can be a restraining influence, and it is in a very emotional part of your scope. But this angle to the Sun helps you to use a great deal of clarity and sensibility around resources. But as you may know, Saturn and Uranus are back in conflict. You know, it's been a big part of everyone's life in 21. This is the third pass, and they come into an exact square on Christmas Eve. Now, Saturn's in your sector of emotion. Uranus is in your sector of relationships. So if you're in a close emotional relationship which is not working well and you feel that you can't breathe, well, it's obvious that could be an issue that still needs resolving. And all this is going to rumble on until the end of February. So it might not be terminal this month, but there could be moments of feeling oppressed and tense still. But Venus, the planet of charm, is in a gorgeous alliance with your modern ruler of Pluto for the whole of this month, within 3 degrees. Don't underestimate the power of your words. You may feel that someone's not listening. You may not feel they understand you. Could be around a relationship with a sibling or a neighbour. But your ability to influence people is going to be incredibly high this month. Also, Venus and Pluto are in an amazing sextile with your ruler, your traditional ruler of Mars, the first 10 days of this month. And this can lead to some spellbinding conversations where you can really say it as it feels for you. You can often be quite cautious about sharing your deeper feelings, but I think this can make you much more inclined to just open up, tell it as it is in those first 10 days. Wonderful. But it is true on the 11th that Venus does meet in an exact conjunction with Pluto. Is there somebody around you in your everyday world that fancies you more than you realise, Scorpio? Because Pluto's the planet of secrets, and it's possible, you know. But a conversation which seems to be quite innocent on the surface could give you a little bit of a clue of how intense someone feels about you. So words can often disguise people's real feelings. So just watch for other signals, you know, body language. Sometimes it's not even, a word isn't even spoken. It's just how someone looks at us. But something captivating can happen around the 11th. The 13th sees life speed up. Mercury switches into your 3rd house and your mind will be stepping up a gear. If you do need to grapple with technology, as often we do at this time of the year, whether it's buying gifts or learning how to make gifts work, you know, whether it's a new computer, phone or toothbrush, whatever technology it may be, Mercury in this location is great for that this time of the year. But also, your ruler Mars moves from your sign into your 2nd solar house. So if you're really wanting to improve your financial lot, the following 6 weeks is superb for you. But you also have a massive opportunity from the 16th to the 21st, because then the Sun in Sagittarius links in a really potentially lucky way with Jupiter. So something linked to a property matter, your home, family life, someone within the family could be very, very generous. You may discover that something that you own is much more valuable than you thought. Maybe there's going to be a bit of a syndicate amongst family members to have a little bit of a flutter. It could prove lucky. So that's great. The 19th, however, sees a full moon in the 8th house of your solar chart, very much in keeping with the energy of your sign. So the Sun and initially Mercury, and then from halfway through the month Mars, are all asking you to think about everyday finance, consumption, you know, enjoying the good things in life, good food, good wine, intimacy. The 8th house is where it's more devotional, but it also can be where we have to think about the cost of Christmas perhaps, about how much we're going to have to pay off after the event. So it's kind of saying, if you're tempted to burst your budget to please people just right towards Christmas itself, try to resist that a little bit, I feel. The 19th also sees Venus go into retrograde. So sincerity around interactions with others is essential. The 21st is the winter solstice. Your life really going to speed up now. Sun moves into Capricorn. This presages the last 13 weeks of the astrological year, the last cardinal quadrant. Very important time. The 24th, we have that exact square between Saturn and Uranus. And so this is more for the ailing relationships in your life. If there is an ailing relationship, family, friendship, neighborhood tie, or an intimate bond, it's probably going to reach a critical point of make or break. But then on Christmas Day, with Venus retrograding, it meets Pluto again in an exact conjunction. Perhaps it's all for all of us who've got scorpionic influences in our chart. It's about how we think. And of course, some people would argue how we think is our reality. We create our reality from our thoughts. I think it's a good concept, certainly worth thinking about, but certainly what we think we often then say. So Pluto can make you a bit secretive at times. So now I think it's urging you to really fess up and say how you feel about a certain relationship. And it could be about someone that you're attracted to in your community, and it could be about a sibling. Now, Mars, your ruler, forges a very strong link with Saturn towards the end of this month. So although Mars in the second house can be very impetuous about spending money, and of course we're now going to have the winter sale, and you may rightly want to give yourself permission to have some treats, Saturn's just saying, keep it sensible. It might be a good idea to buy things that have a practical or tangible purpose. The 29th, however, Jupiter, which fleetingly went through the sign of Pisces earlier this year from the 15th of May to the 28th of July, that returns to Pisces, but that's very good for you because you're a water sign like Pisces. Jupiter also governs Pisces in a co-regency with Neptune, which is already in Pisces. So Jupiter moves into your planet of love, romance, joyfulness, just as the year comes to a close. What a marvellous piece of celestial serendipity for you, Scorpio. This can be a month when you're given an opportunity to share how you often feel. You can often have very intense feelings, but that need to keep things to yourself, which is very, very strong, is being challenged. But of course, your thinking has also been challenged a lot by your modern ruler, Pluto, since 2008. But if there was a crunch point with a neighbourhood relationship or a sibling relationship 2 or 3 years ago, it could be healed now, but it probably requires give and take on each side. And perhaps saying the upside of the relationship, not just the things that disappointed us. So a month of great opportunity, but I really love those first 10 days for you. And if you are single, your sense of humour, your way of expressing yourself can really captivate someone this month, but particularly in those first 10 days. But you could then get your reward of knowing where it can lead as the year comes to a close. I hope you have a quite beautiful Christmas and wishing you a very happy new year. Good luck and goodbye.